What is the biggest difference between macaws and other parrots? The answer is in the question. Big. Biggest. That is the biggest difference between macaws and other parrots. They are big in every way. And it's not even just their size, which is the most obvious thing, but let's start there. They are huge. And Rachel's on the smaller end as far as macaws go, but that's quite a big amount of bird to be holding and to have in your home. With that big size comes big other things like big beak, big bite, big voice. Everything about them is huge. The bill for their care is huge as well. They require a lot of toys, a lot of specialized food, and specialized supplies. A big tree stand for a macaw to be able to hang out in your living room can be quite big and space consuming as well as big on price. So the biggest difference is just that everything with macaws is out to the max. Maximum loudness on the voice, maximum size, maximum experience. Now when it comes to their big personality, it is also slower. So everything about macaws is big, and their size is big in the slow way. They move slower, they step slower, they think slower, they give off body language slower. So in some ways, they're more predictable. The little birds, they move around a lot, they're fast, they're quick, so a lot can happen in a short time. But because of that big size and slow momentum of these bigger birds, you can see things before they happen. When it comes to biting, large birds, big macaws, they have a big scary beak, so largely they don't need to use it because just showing it is enough of a threat that nobody's going to bother them and dare to contradict that big beak. So they usually don't have to bite because they know they can bite so big, they usually don't just go for it. Smaller birds often feel a need to prove their size and stand up for themselves, so they could be a little bit more nippy and bitey. Macaws, on the other hand, you generally won't bother them enough to take a risk of having a bite from such a big beak. So I think people are a little bit more respectful knowing the destruction that such a big beak can cause. Now let's talk about their big food. They're big eaters with a big varied diet. They're going to consume large nuts in the shell like walnut. They also can consume big amounts of fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, particularly veggies. Now, when it comes to toys, macaws can be quite destructive. Just as important as it is that they are well fed and well nourished, they also need to be well occupied. And having a large assortment of large, chewable toys for them to destroy is essential. Otherwise, they'll tear up the house. It is much better for them to be chewing up wood toys that are safe and meant for their beak to be chewing on, and not things like painted doors and furniture and things that have all kinds of chemicals on them that we don't even know what it is. So in order to ensure that that big beak is occupied, lots of big toys. The veterinary care is also very specialized and quite big indeed. Not every vet can be able to handle such a large bird, so a specialized vet that is familiar with birds and particularly macaws is important. But with that big size come big hugs, and they can have big love to share, which is probably what I love most about big macaws. They have such a big heart and such big love to share. Now, with that can come big challenges as well. So learning to be good at parrot training, building genuine trust where you and the bird have a mutual understanding and trust of each other is so important. So be sure to check out parrotwizard.com, where I have my supplies, books, articles, videos to help you learn to befriend a parrot of any size, big or small, but especially to have the tools you need to be able to tackle such a big and amazing creature. Thanks for watching. Check out parrotwizard.com and see you soon.